There it is. Okay. I think I fixed it. So, anyways, good morning. I just wanted to stop in and just check in and just kind of really wanted to have a little conversation with everybody and wanted to share what's been going on with me and been spending time with the Lord each morning and trying to figure out what direction He's leading me in coming in the next year. This year, as you know, for those that have known me, know I've had some big changes in my life this year. My mother passed away in June, and so of course, that that certainly creates when you lose a parent. This is the first time that it's happened to me, and so when you lose a parent, it definitely gets you to really thinking about life and um, priorities and that sort of thing, and relationships. Really has got me thinking about relationships and where God has me going. And so I've been reading in my devos about the story of Joseph. And for many of you, you know the story of where Joseph was the favorite child of Jacob, and his brothers were jealous, and so they sold him into slavery, and of course lied to their father about the whole scenario. And Joseph was gone for 17 years, and in that time he was gosh, there's so much that happened in Joseph's life. I mean, he went through ups and downs and really downs of life. And at the end of 17 years of being um, away from his family, God um, really does an incredible work in his life. And basically, he ends up saving his family through it all. He becomes the right hand man of Pharaoh. Well, as you know, his brother sells him to slavery. He gets into trouble, gets accused of doing something he didn't do. Then he gets thrown in jail, and he's been in prison for a while. The Pharaoh forgets about him, and all the other people have kind of forgotten about him. And, anyways, God does incredible things even for him, even while he's in prison, that he ends up becoming very looked up to, respected by the people in the prison, the guards, and that sort of thing. And eventually, he finally gets to get out of prison. If you haven't read that story in a while, really encourage you to go back and read it. It's really very encouraging and inspiring. And so, anyways, I feel like my life really has paralleled Joseph's life in many, many ways. Lots of ups and downs and highs and lows and that sort of thing, but yet always knowing that God has a plan. God always has a plan, and he has an amazing plan for my life and for your life. For God knows the plans of our lives, and he has plans to prosper us, right, and to take care of us. Um and so we just got to hang on to that. So, anyways, I'm finding myself at that's kind of a long explanation, but I'm finding myself at a crossroads to seeing what the next step is and where does God have me. Um, and I know everybody in the world has experienced in the last few years just a lot of uncertainty, a lot of changes. The whole world is just so different than it was, prior to 2020, right? I mean, how is your world different? Tell me. I mean, comment in there, message me. I'd love to hear, how has your life changed since 2020? What are the things that you've been doing? And, is there something in your life that God is pressing in your heart to make a change? And does it scare you? It scares me because I feel in my soul and my heart that he is really preparing my husband and I for some sort of change, and I don't know what it is. I mean, seriously, I don't know what it all really means. I don't know if that's a change in location, if it's a change in uh, careers. I don't know if it's just a change in my spirit. I'm not really exactly sure, but I'm really waiting for that clarification. And what I do know about the Lord and what He has shown in the past is that um, He will bring it into clarity, when it's time. But in the meantime, I am to just continue to search and look to Him and take opportunities that are in front of me and to do what I know is true and right. And many times it's just changing my mindset, just changing the paradigm, having a paradigm shift in my own mind. I feel like I can be my own worst enemy at times, from the ways that I think things should be, the way I was brought up. And I know it sounds kind of vague, um, but I'm sure you guys can understand. I mean, what kinds of things like from your past? I'm kind of learning that, a lot of times our the way we were raised and the things that our parents passed down to us, gets more set in our minds than we even realize. Um, I mean, for instance, even just our view of money, how we view money and how, for instance, if we are supposed to have money or if we're just kind of destined to just get by or if we're destined to do more or what all that and just the way that we spend money or save money or invest money or any of that are were our parents risk takers or not risk takers or did they play it safe and so did they teach you those same things my parents certainly taught me um certain values and things that I'm realizing that really have stuck with me more than I really thought you know it should so um anyways, I just wanted to come in and share with you, just all those things that I know that God has something big for not just my life, but I really sense it even for my friends. Many of my friends are having a shift in their life. Like I said, whether it be spiritually, in ministry, in business, in careers, family, whatever it is, some God is doing something because there's something really awesome that's happening. And this world, when you listen to the news and all that, can get so scary, right? I mean, if we listen to it, we can get just bury our heads and just become paralyzed. Right? I and I'm gonna admit, I feel like I've been paralyzed for a little while, just kind of that analysis paralysis or just fear, just realizing there's more fear than there should be because God did not give me a spirit of fear, but He gave me a spirit of power, right? Of knowledge and a sound mind. And I really need to really embrace that and remember that because the enemy likes to come in and say, you're not worth it. How dare you to think that, you are good enough to do A, B, or C, or whatever it is. And so, anyways, one of the commitments that I'm making is to really get on and do more live videos because we, as much as I don't really love social media because sometimes we can lose touch with one another. Um, I've also come to realize that social media is also a great tool and a platform to really connect in ways that we haven't been able to connect. I mean, 2020 really opened the doors to that, right? That it just really opened the doors to connecting with people in a different way, and that doesn't take away from the face-to-face conversations or the one-on-ones because I don't think anything ever replaces that. But what I've noticed that it has done is that it's been able to connect people across the world, nations, people outside of your circle, normal circle, to share, um, to share ideas, to share um, encouragement and motivations, and to share perspectives that that I may lack, that you may lack, because we live in our own little world here. And the things that happen in Prescott, Arizona, and the things that the people of Prescott do um, is very different than what we see back east. Chris and I had the privilege and honor to go and visit back east this last summer for the first time, and just to see how different it was from the Southwest. And that was really cool and really exciting. And so I guess it just made me realize how much of how much of the world I haven't even really seen or experienced or known. Or so I just feel like God really wants me to learn to connect with people beyond my little circle, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Am I the only one that feels this way? Uh, am I? If I'm not alone, please, give me a thumbs up, a heart, post a comment, because I feel like I'm alone sometimes. But I just wanted to really just reach out, and I know I'm just kind of going on right now, but it's exciting because there's a change happening. Like I said, I don't think it's just me. I really feel like there's a lot of people kind of at a crossroads, and knowing that God is changing you, whether it be jumping into a ministry that you haven't done or something that you feel like you might be uncomfortable in. And um, if that's you, let me know. I know how scary it can be, but how exciting it can be. God definitely, we make our plans, and God definitely directs our steps, right? And even and if you're going through challenges right now, whether it be health or your financial or your marriage or your relationships, with your family, God has a purpose and a plan in all of it, and it's shaping us, right? So, um, I'm going to continue to share my heart a little bit more as we go on. And I really, really feel in my heart that God really wants me to get vulnerable in a different way than I have. And it was really hard. I'm telling you, getting on this live stream, and you probably are seeing me more. And I've been kind of just gradually dabbling in it because I'm scared. I'm just going to be honest. I'm scared. It's so vulnerable to just put yourself out there for the world to see, and to share your thoughts for the world to pick apart or judge or say, well, that's very strange. Or, anyways, it makes you feel very vulnerable. Like, just, I mean, that's probably why I don't see many of my friends doing live, because it's scary. This is scary. You might not be able to see it, but I am shaking inside, really shaking inside. But that's probably why I'm just kind of rambling on. But, anyways, there is a change, and I really would covet your prayers. And I know there's exciting stuff going on. You're going to definitely see more of me. I'm just going to put out here in the world right now. And like I said, this is very vulnerable, and it's very scary because I'm very much a goal achiever. I like to set goals, and I like to achieve them. So sometimes I don't say my goals out loud because I'm afraid of failure. See, I'm sharing a lot of deep stuff with you right now. I'm afraid of failure. And so sometimes, I don't state my goals out loud just in case it didn't work out. Nobody knew, right? Nobody knew. But the Lord's really just wanting me lately to just really push me to really get out there, because the reality, guys, is our time is short here. Our time is just getting shorter and shorter. I mean, you listen to the news, it's getting shorter and shorter. We don't have much time to do the things that God has us here to do. And so I don't want to waste any more time. And I don't want to just touch just a few lives anymore. I want to touch as many lives as the Lord wants me to touch. And whether, that is whatever avenue that means, I want to be brave enough and have the courage to do so. And so, anyways, I really, again, just ask for your prayers. If um, if you've been through what I've been through, I'd love to, just kind of get some encouragement from you for sure. And you're going to see more of me. I'm going to actually start. I'm going to say this out loud. I'm going to start a vlogcast, podcast, whatever it is. Of course, I got to figure that all out, but I'm going to do it. And I really want to not just share the thoughts that the Lord has placed in my heart, but I want to share with you the thoughts and achievements of the friends that I make, that I know now and that I will make, have made, and just to share. And if you can see, I put in my title here, Zena Krogadal, American Dreamer. I've just really been feeling like that's what I'm supposed to grasp on, that, I'm an American dreamer. My family immigrated, as many of you know, and I'll get on and tell you about it more, probably on my vlogcast or podcast, and I'm probably gonna create a group too so that, so that as time goes on, not all my friends that don't want to hear this gibberish, feels like they have to, you know, get unsolicited views or whatever. But anyways, there's many things on the horizon. I've got a lot of thoughts and ideas, and I gotta capture them. And seeking the Lord, praying along with my husband, and um, I'm just excited, and I'm so thankful for all of you. So thanks for hearing me out. And if you are feeling like the Lord is nudging you to make a change, and you're kind of hesitant, and you're scared, just know that you are not alone. And I really would like to chat about. Let's keep this discussion going. I'd like to really encourage one another and lift each other up. Raising our kids in this world is so different than it was just a few years ago as well, right? And so, what we have found that, again, since the pandemic, since 2020, is that all, I wouldn't say that we just found out. We've always known, because God has said that two is better than one, right? Um, that we were not designed to go at life alone. That whether you're married or you're not married, we're not designed to go at life alone. We're designed to go together, because together is better. And a threefold cord is not quickly broken. So if you got the Lord in the center of everything, gosh, you're going to accomplish so much. And so if you are also in a crossroads like I am, I would love it if you would share that with me, because I do feel like, I've been kind of holding back and scared to share, what's all been going on, just in case it wasn't going to come into fruition, or just in case God was leading me somewhere else. But He really has been showing me that um, He He's got a message, and He's not just teaching me. He wants to He wants me to share with you what He's teaching me, because it might just change someone's life, right? I mean, we're all supposed to share what's going on, because it can change somebody else's life. It's because it can be an encouragement. And if we want to hide that light, we're not doing what God has called us to do. And I have a tendency to want to hide. That's my natural tendency, is to not really be in the limelight. And yet I feel like God just continuously just keeps pushing me out a little bit more. And so anyway, here I am. That's enough of me today. And I will check back. And like I said, you're probably going to see me more. And again, I'd love to have a little more feedback, and your prayers, and all of that. And yeah, you're definitely not alone. I've got, I will let you know what plans unfold as we go on. Also, oh, I almost forgot. So I talked about doing a market update. I know some of you definitely want to hear a market update, and this week has been a little crazy, so I didn't quite get the chance to really polish up the presentation. So I want to put it off till next week, if you guys are okay with that. Um, so next week, probably next Friday, I'm thinking. Um, we'll go over the market updates. And until then, I'll check in, and I'll kind of let what plans unfold. So stay tuned. And anyways, love you all, and talk to you later. Have a wonderful, blessed, and prosperous day. Have a good one. Bye.